Hello everybody and welcome to the third lecture of 3D modeling with Blender, materials and textures. Okay, so we have gone through introduction to 3D modeling, basic, extrusion, subdivision, UI and primitives. We started in last lecture the cup, and today we are going to make the handle to that cup, and then we are gonna go really quickly do these materials and textures. We are not gonna dig very deeply there, but we have some information about those. So textures and materials have these concepts of normal map, bump map, that kind of fake the realism of textures. So what you see is not probably the truth, but we're gonna aim to that direction, that they're gonna look nice. There is a little game that has some interesting 3D design as well as 3D work that's called The Witness, and the first tree is also made with Unity by individual developer. So check those out here. Okay, maybe you have modeled the skyscraper, maybe not. We worked in last lecture with extrusion and subdivision. We modeled the cup shape, that is over here. We modeled a basic chair and a table, and also we did some extrusion, subdivision, surface modifying. A little bit about materials and textures. So here you can see some emissive surface on the cup material. So materials are a set of properties that define how light interacts with the object. So materials are uniform and have properties such as color, reflectivity, luminescence, and so on. So we're gonna touch that topic later. So textures therefore break up the uniformity and give you the power to have tile blocks or tapestry on the wall. So you could have image texture on the wall or whatever you want. And you can affect the color of textures and modify them in many ways. There are many ways of doing it. So we are aiming to this cup here to make the glass possible. So that's quite easy with Blender. These might sound a little bit weird, but they are just a couple of clicks and you can get them working. Okay, I think now we're gonna take a little break with modeling, and then we're gonna continue with these materials. All right, so first we had our cup here. So you might have the image texture already there, or it might not show up with you. So I've already put the texture here. So that's part of a bigger world. So I'm designing in the center. So if I'm clicking on tilde key, I can go easily there. And for some reason my image texture is not showing up there. So we can add that back by adding Shift A, image, reference image, find our cup here, make sure align to view is not selected. Click on that, you can see that the image texture is here. And then by keyboard 1, click on that, and you can see that you can rotate it by x-axis for 90. Okay. And I'm just gonna quickly add this one here. Okay. Excellent. So now we need to handle. So if you go to actually edit mode, and here you need to actually I don't want to touch this image texture, so I'm clicking here the filter button, and enabling one of these restriction toggles. So I'm gonna disable the touching feature. If you go to edit mode and then you get the top view and then select all by clicking on A, so everything is selected, and going to top view, you can see that the handle, we want the handle to happen here. So it's not very good idea to have the handle made out of this when the kind of the vertex is straight to the image. So it's easier to rotate it and then model it to the flat surface. You can see soon why I did that. So I just click on R and then I turned this cup a little bit. Then you can orbit around it and then select the face selection mode and click on one of these faces. And then just extruding it a little bit, just clicking on E, extrude, and then clicking E, extrude. And then if you go to vertex select mode, and you can see here that I select these vertices and I crop them using Z axis a little bit up. And maybe with the X axis too. And then going to face selection mode, extrude and G. Remember to use the axis button X, Y, or Z in order to make this nicer and smoother. Okay. You can also use the edge selection tool to grab this thing and to make this a little bit up. Solid. Okay. What we have now is part of the handle already. So if we go to face selection mode, we can actually continue this kind of thing all the way there. But what we can do here is to use this spin tool. So the spin tool works like this, that you need to put your 3D cursor where you want the spin to happen. So basically, if you want the spin to happen around here, you are not supposed to use it here. So shift right click it somewhere here that the kind of the spinning possibility comes active. Then make sure that you have the Y selected so it spins on the right axis. So in 3D you need to remember always that. And then basically you can spin it over. I don't know what's happening there. Okay. Excellent. So basically then you use this handle and spin it over. And you can see that the handle is now formed. And then you can go to select and then kind of start finishing your handle. Okay. And then one more step maybe here. Okay. And then rotating it a little bit along the y-axis. All right, and what we can do here is to we need to join these areas together. So basically first you need to get rid of these faces that you can join these together. So just click on X and then face, and click on X and then face, I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, now you can see better. So now we have two holes here and we need to join these together. So you can use edge selection and you can kind of select both of these, and then you can click on F to create a face, and then it joins together. You can go it all around here, or you can make actually a quicker way to do is to click on Alt and right click, and then Shift Alt to right click. So Alt click to select the whole round of this, and then Shift Alt click to select another one. Okay, and then you click on F3 to get this search bar, and you search for bridge. So you bridge the whole edge loop together. So if you click on that, ta-da, it should happen automatically. You can see that we have some problems here. So you can actually modify these as well, just a little bit. We have a little bit too thick stuff here, maybe here. But like so, now you can modify with G usually. If you click on G and then enable the axis, you can easily move these around. And create some more precise version of whatever you want. Oops, and then just ISK. Okay, here you can also alt click this one and then Shift E. One second, it's actually this, and Shift E, so you can kind of inset those faces. So you can see actually a small, on the upper corner you can see small number, so you can choose the amount you want to do it. So let's do that for this one as well. For some reason it's not selecting this. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay. But yeah, now we have a mug with the handle, and we can see it in its huge cup here as well. So what we need to do right now is to create a material to this cup. So we go to this right hand side and go to material properties and click on new. So that creates a new material on top of this mug. So we don't have textures here because this new Blender is using node textures. So we have this principled BSDF that is a kind of umbrella term for all kinds of textures. So here you see bunch of options that are going to be in nodes as well, but you can see bunch of options, and here you need to know that you have a transmission. And in order to see the texture you're creating, you need these viewport options. So go to either to material preview viewport or go to rendered. And I go to rendered. So in your computer, material might be actually better, but if you want to see this glass properties, you need to go to rendered. And by the way, here in render properties, I should have cycles enabled. So you might have EV selected, but cycles is the right render mode to go with. And then if you go to GPU compute, you use your computer's GPU in order to compute that one. So you need to change in material, you need to change this transmission to all the way to 1. So you can already see that something is changing here. And then where you need to go is to actually select this base color and then move it all the way up. And now you can see that this is like a little bit matte version of the cup. It's kind of reflecting, but it's because we have the roughness enabled here. So go all the way to 0, so you will get this one. And you will see the glass material better if you add a plate here. So we go to snap, actually right click on your mouse and go to snap, and then your cursor to world origin. So then the cursor goes to world origin, and we want to add a plane. And just resize the plane really huge like this, and place it with G right below the mug. And then we're gonna give this also a color, maybe some whiter color. And then when we don't have a light here, we're gonna create one more light actually. Okay, sun is a little bit strength. Okay, we just created. I just wanted to show you this with the light. So sun is like from the center coming right down at the moment. So you can see that it's actually glass. Yep. So that's the glass property. So we will go back to this. So we will continue material settings. So shaders define how the appearance of a material looks. So there are diffuse, specular shaders. You can dig deeper in that, but that's kind of extra thing for you. And now we already touched this topic, but textures, there are two types of textures. There are procedural textures that are mathematically generated, and then there are image textures that are images on top of those materials. So a basic material in Blender is basic gray already. So you need to add a new material to change the color. And now we will create this cube that has two colors on the same object, and then texturing them and attaching the materials here. Okay. So here we have a cube, and we want to create a texture on top of it. So first, what we need to do is to go to Material Pane in Object Mode, and then we have one gray material here, so we can change the base material, but we don't want to do that because that's just the base material that Blender has. So we can create a new, clicking on this Add Material slot. And then in base color, you can, for example, you can change this to greenish color here just by clicking on this wheel. And then you can create another material like here, and you can select this bluish stuff, blue. Okay, and maybe another one to create this yellow material. Okay, and here we need to go to the edit mode, get the face selection mode, and then we can add the material by assigning it here. You can't see anything because your viewport option is in solid view. So you need to go to either to material view or to rendered view. Let's get the light on and also the camera on so you can see it. Okay, now it's blue, and when you select another one, it's gonna be yellow. So blue and yellow cube here. And let's give one green material here. And you can actually name these accordingly as well. And green. Okay. And next one is the image materials. So you can add a image material to a simple mesh like wall or floor. So we're gonna make this one happen for presidents of Finland actually. And this is kind of interesting because you need UV unwrapping. So that's the hotkey U. So let's get this through really quickly. So we have this dodecahedron here. We need this one because we want to place all of Finnish presidents on top of these dies. So how you can get this easily is by, let's get rid of this, going to edit, preferences, then you go to add-ons and click search for extra mesh. So you can add mesh extra objects here and just click on this one. And when you add a mesh, you can go to math functions and regular solids. And here there is a small toolbar. You can select source dodecahedron that has a right amount of faces. Okay. Hopefully you follow along. Then we are actually gonna split the view. So we are gonna go on the top corner, get a horizontal split, and then split this view horizontally. Then we're gonna go to the node editor, like shader editor here. So clicking on this, going to shader editor, clicking on the object, and again getting a new material. So you should see all these material properties here as well. So we changed already the roughness and we changed the transmission, so you can see the same stuff here as well. So visually, what we need to do here is to add a image texture node. So Shift A and then texture and then image texture. And here what we can do is to drag and drop this color to base color. So we're gonna use this image texture as a base color of this object. And then add on new, then add open, and we can select the president's texture here. And when we select here on the top right corner, you should see that the actual cube is turning to black. Okay. Then we can join these areas back together like this. And then we can go to UV editing. And here on top corner, we can select the presidents of Finland. And then here, when we click on A for 2 times, when we click on A for 2 times, we can unselect everything. All right, then when we shift click, when we go to edit mode and we go to face selection mode, we can shift click 2 of these corners. So you want to place your president head here. And then U for unwrap. And you should see here that you have the unwrapping option, and then you can scale it down and place it on top of Svinhu wood. And here you can see nothing because your viewport option is not selected. So click on Z and go to material preview. So Z and material preview, Z solid, Z material preview, or in this corner here you can see that there is also the possibility. So do this for all of these president faces, like selecting this one, UV unwrap, size for resizing, and then G for cropping it, for example, to Mannerheim. And then also for other presidents accordingly. So this works similarly if you want to put tapestry or whatever to your cube. You're free to do so using this option. Oops. U for UV unwrap, then S for resize, and then grab it for Tarja Halonen. Okay, excellent. And let's go back to the lecture. So now we have done the basic materials one. So play with it, play with it around, and then try to make your cup also happening, and unwrap your materials, trying different methods that we have done previously. Okay, thank you very much. And next lecture gonna be lighting, cameras, and rendering, plus the course delivery task that we already touched a little bit, but we're gonna go through that next lecture. Thank you very much.